All right. Well, I'm going to wait for some people to come in. I'll close this door. If you're tuning in right now, then go ahead and drop where you're tuning in from, maybe your name, and hello, hello. So, I guess I'll just kind of tell you all a little bit why I started this journey of building wealth and like how I guess I came into this. So, when I was younger, so I'm of African and indigenous descent. And when I was younger, I was born in Anaheim, and I didn't really know much about like wealth or finances, really much at all. Um, I think I was in a series of crazy situations that included like homelessness, poverty, um, the child welfare system, as many of you know. And so, unfortunately, that was some of the barriers that I was facing when it came to building generational wealth. And I didn't even know, that that concept was a thing. Sorry, there's a car. So I didn't even know that was a thing. And I just started like aimlessly trying to go to like, okay, maybe this is finances. This is what this means. This is what that means. And just grabbing at straws, basically. Um, I think 2018 was when like I really hit my plateau because I was um, at NC State University. I had transferred from North Carolina Central University, and sorry, this light is like weird, but um, I transferred from North Carolina Central to NC State, which that's a whole other conversations for another time, okay? But I was doing pretty well, and then my dad got sick, and we were living together, and all the financial expectations then came on me. I tried to reach out to others for help, and no one was really trying to. Sorry, this lighting is like really bothering me. But no one was really trying to um, hear me out. No one was trying to support what I was trying to do with like school and finishing school. I was going to school for political science, and I also had like different business ventures going. So I thought, maybe people will be able to support, at this particular time because my dad got diagnosed with kidney failure, and it just was a really, really hard time. And I ended up having to, on top of my own school expenses and personal expenses, had to take on my dad's expenses and eating and his medication, um, which, he wasn't able to cover his medical insurance and stuff. But, anyways, so everything financially fell on me to the point that I had like over $4,000 of monthly expenses when I had like $1,000 budget because I was a college student, and it just it was a lot, and it was not it was not a good time. It was very hard, and I tried to reach out to others for help, and it just wasn't working out the way I thought. Maybe people would understand or they would see that I was trying. So, anyways, after a series of events, I started with this idea that maybe, crazy thought, maybe there were things that I just really didn't know. And maybe it wasn't like that the wealthy, people that have generational wealth, or, this is their first generation of wealth over $1 million in assets. Maybe like that wasn't this sinister thing that I had to like subconsciously repel. And hello, hello. Um, for those that you have joined, yes, hello, and just giving a little bit of background of why I'm interested in, I guess, sharing free information about generational wealth and financial literacy. So, over time, I decided that this was probably like 2019. This epiphany that, you know what, I don't know everything, and I don't, about finances and budgeting and all the things. And what if this isn't the right way to do things? And um, what if, like, all the people that are in my circle that aren't millionaires, maybe they just don't really know either. Maybe they um, just have been thinking that they know, like I think I know, and we're just all not getting to where we said we want to go to. So let me start asking questions from people that are in the lane of achievement that I want to be in, pertaining to finances and impact and um, an overwhelming sense of purpose. And so I started reading some books. The first financial book I read was actually this year. I tried to read other books in the past, but I don't know, it felt like my brain was repelling the information, even though I so desperately wanted to read it. So it was so weird. Like, it was, I don't know, like my brain was just like, no, I'm not reading this. I'm not comprehending. I'm not absorbing the information. I'm like, come on, like, I'm just trying to read. I'm just trying to be great. But this year, in the beginning of 2020, I created this goal that I was going to read over 20 books. I think it was actually 40. I think I said I was going to read 40 books by the end of 2020. And for personal development, no fiction, but for all personal development and in different areas, but specifically more so financial literacy. And you know what? It's December 2020. We've got December 29th to be exact, 2020. And as of today, I read two books. So 83 and counting, because I'm probably going to read a book after we get off here. I know, it's crazy. Like, I never would have thought. Like, anyway, 83 books. I don't know if I might get to 85 before 2020 is over, but yeah, that power of, purpose, and the power of like setting a goal and setting an intention is so important. Um, so anyway, I had to get really clear about things, because when I was younger, I also would say, even though I had no idea how to do it, I didn't know anyone who had made $1 million at the minimum. I always said, like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire. And let me know in the comments if you're one of those people that have said or do say, like, you want to be a billionaire. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. Let me know in the comments, because you know what? I realized that when I really, really dug into it, I was like, why do I want to be a billionaire? Like, why is this something that I'm so adamant about? Like, where, like, on my goals, top of the list, going to be a billionaire. And I'm like, why do I want to be a billionaire? And the reason why I want to be a billionaire is for multiple reasons. But one is so I can give back to my family and put them in a better position than, what they've been through thus far. Two, um, I want to give back to the organizations and the causes that that plagued a lot of the communities that I've been a part of, and in the past, and also that I haven't been a part of, but really desperately need some help and support, um, and acknowledgement. And there's multiple reasons why I wanted to, and I still do, aspire to be a billionaire. But mainly, as you can see, the common theme is giving. Like, I want to give. And so I read this book called F.U. Money by Dan Locke. And I love that book. I'm going to reread it again. And he was talking about, like, your personal daily goal, financial goal, and like discovering what that is. And I really broke down the numbers, and it ended up being that I didn't need I didn't need like $1 billion to do all the things that I wanted to do practically, which is crazy because, like, to be fair, I have never seen $1 million in cash before. I don't know if you have, maybe you have, but I've never seen $1 million in cash before. So I don't even know what $1 million in cash looks like, let alone 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, right? So I had this thought and I was like, okay, like several hundred, you know, $1 million is a lot of money. Like, do I actually need $1 billion, multiple billions? I mean, who needs multiple billions of dollars? No shade to the people who do have multiple billions of dollars, unless they've got it on the backs of, you know, other people. Then we're gonna have to like revisit that idea. But that's a conversation for another time. We're not gonna get into that today. Um, but I really thought about that and I was like, wow. So I actually did the calculations. And for me personally, practically in writing everything down, including like volunteering, it ended up coming up to like $600,000. What? Like $600,000. Um, was that annually or was that for my lifetime? I don't remember, but I remember it was $600,000 and oh, it was annually, $600,000 annually, which is less than $1 million. So even if we did 600,000 right times, well, I'm almost 25 now. So let's say I give myself even 100 years, right? And let's just roughly move up to $600,000 to a million. So let's just say a million times 100 years. That's $100 million. So, so really, for my lifetime, including giving back to organizations and communities and the causes that I am so profoundly for, um, those are all under $1 million one a year, but it's under $1 billion. So even to just be like cool for the rest of my life, including getting my generations started and saving for generational wealth and other things, that is around $100 million. That's an extra 400,000 that I added on top of the original 600,000, right? Just to rough in the numbers, $400,000. Like, anyway, my point is that when we actually look at that practically, it's like, holy crap, I don't need to be a billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually a whole lot of money. And so, at least for me, it became an aha moment of like, wait, like, that's the first step then. The first step is to make my first, well, my first step to me is my first 100,000 and then 600,000 and then moving forward. And I'm just being transparent about my financial journey. And I think if you're transparent, at least with yourself, about, where you're at now, where you want to go, I think it would be so much more helpful for you. So I've read a lot of financial literacy books, let me tell you. Um, And like I said, the first one that I really started off was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I recommend that if you haven't read it already, read that one. There's so many other ones like You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Um, what is it? The Science of Getting Rich. Um, the one I'm reading right now, which is the 6-week program, is called How to Be Rich. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by someone, but I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It's a six week program. I'm reading that one right now. And anyway, so I want to go through with you right now. That's a little bit of background of, why I really got started and very briefly how I'm going to support you in your journey today. So if you are on the journey to financial literacy and building generational wealth, please leave in the comments, leave in the comments generational wealth builder. Okay. And I want to see who you are. I want to connect with you. So let me know. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and come to my whiteboard here. There's a lot going on outside, so we're just gonna, we're gonna do what we can. And I hope you can see this. See, you can see that. Let me back this up. Okay, there's a lot going on with this. Okay, you can see that. Cool. So I myself have never been a person that could do the whole 9 to 5 thing. I think I've applied in the past to different things. I have worked at um, establishments short term where it was 9 to 5. I often in the past would apply to different internships or things like that that were short term 9 to 5, but I would ultimately be working on my businesses. So I'm going to talk more so on the entrepreneurship side, but um, I'm also going to include for those of you that are 9 to 5s or jobs, temporary jobs, whatever you've got going on. So the title of this video is Where Should Your Money Go? So, where should your money go? Let's find out. So, first, you have, so this is that little circle right there. Hold on, can you see that? You can see it. Okay, so that circle right there is to illustrate like your income from whether it's a job or a business. So I'm going to put income. Right. So this is like the money that you've made from the job, right? And usually Uncle Sam, okay, well that's not my uncle. So I'm going to just call him Sam. Sam takes a cut for taxes, right? Usually. So we have income and Uncle Sam, Sam takes a cut. So I'm going to put Sam. If you feel like Uncle Sam's your uncle, you can go ahead and say Uncle Sam, but I'm gonna say Sam. All right, cool, cool. All right, so Sam, and well, usually after this, we as soon as it hits that direct deposit into our checking account, we just kind of go wild. I can't speak for you. I usually would go wild, and I'd be like, but then before I could really get wild, the bills would come, right, and it would be like, this little cute thing here, that income is getting real cute. And when people say cute, it's like small. So it gets real cute. The amount gets real cute. And so essentially, what we want to do, and what I've heard countless financial gurus, including Robert Kiyosaki, and I do really appreciate Robert Kiyosaki because he could be doing anything with his time, but he's consistently coming back and sharing information through books, through webinars, workshops, classes, podcasts, YouTube, to really try to get the word out for people to become financially literate, not illiterate, but literate and free. So really shout out to Robert Kiyosaki. But yeah, so from here, what we really want to do, right, after Uncle Sam has taken his cut, is um, once it hits the checking account, and the green doesn't want me to be great, so we're just going to have to use the red. Let's see if you can see that. All right, so we've got from the income, Uncle Sam takes a cut, and then we are in our checking account. And when we get into the checking account, what we want to do, number one, is pay yourself first, right? And what does that really mean? Because I've heard that so many times, and it didn't really click until like in my brain, I was like, oh, like I'm giving myself, hold on, this is the money, right? I'm giving myself the money. Now I'm paid, bet. So then I was like, well, I could just, not move the money from the checking account, and that works. Like I paid myself technically. That's what I thought at first. Like I was 19 and I was like, pay yourself first. I do this all the time. But But it's not just leave it into the checking account, okay? So, um, the first step is to pay yourself first, which could mean a multitude of things. Today, I'm just gonna name a few of them, and we're gonna move forward with that. Sorry, the sun is like directly in my eyes. So, after the money hits your checking account, it's very important. Oh, it's a loud car. Um, After the money hits your checking account, what you would want to do is put it in a retirement account. And I already know what you're thinking. Retirement account. I heard that all the time. Blah blah blah. 401k. Just give me a second. Retirement account. So, oof, there it is. Retirement. Look, it's in the sun. So the reason why this is so important is because when we're thinking about building generational wealth and retiring early, for those that are interested in retiring early, I am interested in retiring early. Um, well, we can go so many different ways with this, but we're going to keep it short for this video. So, this is important because it's not about when you get old, you'll be able to access money. It's about you investing in your future self. Which, if you're retiring or early, could mean in your late 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. There might be a little penalty if it's before 59 and a half years old, but you'll be retired. And it's important to max out these different retirement accounts, whether it's a 401k, 401, 403b, TSP for military, thrift savings plan, and for business owners, what is it called? Um, 401k, IRA something. So my brain is going numb a little bit about that, but that's okay. So it's essentially a pension plan. I think it's on SEP, self-employment pension. Look it up, self-employment pension. When I heard about this, I was like, what? Which means that there's certain caps on how much money you can save. Um, or not save, put away and invest into something else, right? So when I say invest, let me break that down a little bit. I'm sorry that we only have red, but whatever. Um, so let's take the word invest. Can you see it? Can you see that? Okay. So invest means that, let's say you have a pool of money that you're putting into a retirement account, right? So let's say this is a requirement. I'm putting invest in there so you know that it's going to be invested in something. So a retirement account could be a 401k, um, Roth IRA, um, SEP, which is a self-employment pension, TSP, and on and on and on of all the different things that you can do with a retirement account. Okay, okay, cool. So we have this, and these are the different accounts. And a lot of people think that when they put some money into their investment accounts, whether it's a 401k, TSP, Roth IRA, SEP, et cetera, they think that they've already done their job, they've invested their money, and they're good. But the truth is, what you really need to do is, this is really just like, how can I compare it? It's really just hmm, like a giant bowl of popcorn. It's like a giant bowl of popcorn, okay? It's like a giant bowl of popcorn with salt. Actually, okay, we could do it that way. It's a giant bowl of popcorn with no salt, with no anything. And, that's cute and everything. But it's really what this is invested in, right? So, no one likes to eat unseasoned, unbuttered popcorn. At least I don't. I don't know. Maybe you do. Um, but it's really what you invested in, right? So you have this bowl of popcorn. You could invest the bowl of popcorn into your mouth, which the return on that investment would be a smile on your face, or excitement, or sharing with others about this amazing situation. So, particularly with this, that was, I mean, the bowl of popcorn analogy was a little far fetched, but it was the only thing I could think of at the time. So don't judge me. Anyways, you know, you've got to invest the retirement account into something. So it could be into a stock, into a mutual fund, into something that is moving. It's in a flow. It's growing. So another analogy would be a boat, right? So the boat would be the most effective on some water, maybe even on an ocean. Maybe that would be the most fun. So depending on what kind of retirement account would also be what kind of boat, right? Like a yacht on an ocean. So that's what you got to think about when you're thinking about your retirement account. Be like, well, if you put it in a savings account, right, that would be like a canoe, which is cute, but you could be on a sailboat or you could be on a yacht on and invested that boat into the ocean. Okay, we got that. We got that down. So that's the whole point about investing. Okay, so what we want to do is we have our income, we have our uncle's, we have our Sam, we have our checking account, and then we have our retirement account, right? So you want to then invest, well, put your money into an investment account. And I mean, a retirement account. From that retirement account, you invest the retirement account into whatever you want: bonds, stocks, mutual funds, index funds, real estate. This goes on and on. All right. So another thing that would be really important before you give your money to bills and everything else would be to put the money into. You do want to still save your money, okay, but in some kind of slow growing investment account. So I'm gonna put high interest account. Okay, so we have the savings account too. So we have our retirement account, and so okay, you see the chain where we're going. All right, cool. So next would be um, right after that. Then you pay your bills. So after this situation, you want to go to bills, right? So that would be like your rent, groceries, your utilities, paying off credit cards, any debt, your gas for your car, any prescriptions, which you could go with or without, depending on what you're doing with your life. And let's see, we've got our merchant. So this savings, though, let me be more clear. Sorry. So this savings, though, is the emergency savings, right? So we need at least, I'm gonna put a big E for emergency in a circle around it. So you know that's that's for emergencies. And so you need an emergency fund for around, well, to be safe, 6 months to a year at the minimum. And then you just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is getting really hot on my face. Let's try to move this over a little bit. Okay. But whew, 6 months to a year. And I know that sounds so crazy. Like, who who has 6 months worth of money to be putting away? Oh, okay. But yeah, anyway, so that's what it's really important to get started. So even to get started, you can put away like something that I used to do when I was like 20 was I would put $5 away every time I would see $5. So like if I got cash out of the bank, or I um I got money back from the cashier. Whatever was in there, if there was a $5 bill in there, if there was multiple $5 bills in there, I would put it together in a shoebox, and I just put it under my bed. Which anything like money in your house is dangerous, right? Because you don't want to. Anyway, I just went to a dark place. People rob me. But you gotta be careful. You know, you can't just be having your money in a shoebox or in your mattress. We can't, like, we gotta put it in sufficient places. At least get a vault or something, if you're trying to keep it at home. But for the most part, either put it in the bank, um, or somewhere that's going to be most beneficial to you, and a return on, like, some kind of something that's moving your money along, because the money wants to grow, the money wants to flourish, the money wants to be like high on money, you know, and sociable. It wants to be with others money, so you can't just be like, no, I'm gonna put it like in a box in the dark alone. Anyways, so that's really important. So anyway, so we've got that. We've got the income, Sam, checking account. From the checking account, you put into a retirement account, which I guess I should put an arrow to some kind of investment. So this one's going to be in some kind of investment, right? Hopefully that's not super confusing, but some kind of investment here. And then after you've invested, after you put some money in your savings account, it can be $5, it can be $1, it can be 20 cents. I'm not trying to hear any excuses. It could be a penny. Okay, I think you got it. All right, so we're gonna move on. After the bills and basic needs, we're gonna move on to a short-term savings plan, which is really important when you want to like buy something nice. You know, like treat yourself, or um, reward yourself for maybe a quarterly goal. Quarterly goal is like, 4 months out of the year. After 4 months of something that you've done, maybe consistently, maybe you wrote a book, maybe you did amazing things. I don't know what you did, but you did something. Okay, maybe you want to reward yourself. Okay, it's like DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, buy yourself a house, buy yourself a car. I didn't mean literally. Like, we're trying to save and organize our money. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So the other thing is a short-term savings. So I'm just gonna put short-term. So I just put short-term savings right there. And so after the bills, we go to short-term savings, and that can also include vacations. Um, Anything about personal development. Maybe you want to splurge on some books. Maybe you're a nerd like some people. Um, and yeah, so you just want to do what you can and save to do something nice for yourself or for somebody else. And after that, you've taken care of business. Okay, so we're gonna label this. What do one after here? So one, two, emergency savings. Three will be your bills. Four will be short-term savings. And after you've done these four steps, you then are able to go to um, guilt-free, or just, anything that's left over, you're able to just do whatever you want with it. You can put that in your you can put it back into your savings, you can put it in your emergency fund, you can put some money in your retirement accounts. There's a whole lot going on back there. I actually see the truck. Wow, it's really echoing. So we're not going to let that distract us. So we got the retirement account, right? So you can put the money back into the retirement account. So we're just going to have number five as whatever money. And it's whatever. Like I got, 2 cents in my checking account. It's whatever. I might go out to eat with it. You feel me? Like, but then again, I might not go out to eat with it. I might just chill and so so whatever you have left over after that, you could let it roll over into the next paycheck or pay period. It's really up to you. And after that, um, maybe you want to use some of the money for business stuff. Maybe you want to invest some money into your business or, um, yeah, something like that, or a hobby or a passion. So we'll just have six, which could really be with five, but I'm gonna put business, passion. Um, yeah, I guess five and six could really just be together. You could also give money, um, donate some money to a local organization, nonprofit organizations. There's always wonderful nonprofit organizations out there, or causes or projects looking to be supported. And yeah, then after that, you just restart the cycle all over again. But what I've learned from reading a lot of these books is that what's most effective is when you are automating this process. And so there's this book called The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. And I'm currently rereading that book because I just love it. And I bought the workbook, which is on Amazon. Um, and that just really helped me like get more in depth into my finances. And I'm on this journey as well. I'm in no way, in no means, a expert at all. I'm just someone on a mission with a purpose. Okay, trying to break these generational curses. Not even trying. I am breaking these generational curses. Hello, affirmations. I am breaking these generational curses, and one of them happens to be the financial aspect. So, oh, talking about breaking generational curses and this thing trying to fall on me. I don't think that's a coincidence. Coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. But if you enjoyed this little class, I hope you were able to see this and follow it along. Hopefully, um, then definitely let me know if you enjoyed it. And let me know what you learned from it. I put this back up here. And let me know what you learned from it. I'm also having a mastermind about financial literacy and business, just to connect with like-minded individuals that are also on this journey of building generational wealth, entrepreneurship journeys, and just overall connecting with dope individuals. So if you're interested in that, then definitely go to www.soulfulliberation.com. Soulful as in SOULFULLIBERATION, soulfulliberation.com, and fill out the mastermind form. And that way you will be notified when our mastermind launches. If you want to be a leader in the mastermind group, definitely check off that box and I'll follow up with you, or someone from our team will follow up with you. Um, Hope you learned a lot and I enjoyed it. I have a lot of information in this brain. I don't know it all, but I've definitely done a lot of absorbing and applying and trial and error. So, as many of us humans have in life, right? And so, financial literacy is one of the biggest things to me. Um, and so, I share what I can, when I can. Um, and I hope that you learned something from it. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Cannot wait to hear from you and connect with you later on, through the mastermind or other ways. I also have a book club starting next month. We're going to be reading Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. So just stay tuned and hope you enjoy this. And there will definitely be more videos like this in the mastermind. So yeah, looking forward to connect with you. Thank you so much for joining. And don't forget to share this video out if it did help you so it can help someone else. And So much love, light, and healing energy to you. All right, peace.